Hey everybody. It's been a few days since I've been on here. What a crazy week that I've had. Um, for a week, the power, half the power in my house was um, not working. And then Sunday, and it's Tuesday now, so 3 days ago, 2 days ago, the whole power went out in the house. The rest of the power was gone. I think my wife turned on the AC and I think it just crapped out everything. And we blew the transformer for the block. Uh, the whole block lost power because of us. Not, I mean, we didn't do anything, but our house, the electric grid that we're on, we blew the transformer. And, maybe that was a sign, I guess. I took it as a sign, anyways, that I'm not going to name this person, but I took a course with this person that I've been seeing a long time. She's a hypnotherapist. Um, and she must have got an attachment to the wrong energy, just using self hypnosis. If I think if your body's not pure, if it's not cleaned up, you can attract the wrong entities to you, and maybe that's what happened to her. I'm not really sure, but I've been warned in YouTube tarot readings and stuff that I've been watching to just watch out for this trickster energy. And I just watched another video that was warning me again, because the video was 9 days ago. I didn't watch it until today, but this happened like a week ago. Well, it's been happening, but it came to a head like a week ago. Basically, this woman that was teaching, she's like siphoning people's energy, putting spells in her teachings, just not good things. I don't know all of what she was doing, but I know that there were some warning signs, and I chose to look on the bright side and kind of ignore them or even make excuses for them. So one of the things before, so what ended up happening anyways was one of her assistants, teachers to the class, ended up leaving like a week after the class started, and she just completely cut ties. And she ended up reaching out to me, but I thought it was like a business thing, so I'm like, I don't want to get involved in that. Like, whatever you guys got going on, let me just do my class and I don't know, learn psychic stuff. And but then they had reached out to somebody else who reached out to somebody else who reached out to me, and I connected with them, listened to what they had to say, and just was like blown away. Couldn't believe that that this was happening. So it's a big red flag when all of your prior students want nothing to do with you as a teacher. Like, you must have done something pretty horrible to them. And so anyways, about a few days before they reached out to me, I reached out to this teacher and I said, hey, I know you were working with somebody who had worked with digestive issues. I went to see my acupuncturist, and he told me my digestion still is kind of like not so good, but I've been eating really good. I wasn't eating any gluten or processed foods. I was eating really good. And I think because she was taking from my sacral chakra, that it was screwing up my digestion somehow. That's my theory, but I mean, I would say before that 2 weeks, I was eating like donuts or something, and just get sugar cravings sometimes, and I just eat junk food. And so maybe it takes a while to clear that up, and not just 2 weeks. At any rate, I reached out to her I knew a prior student who specified her in the digestive area, and kind of working in an energetic way, in a spiritual way, cleaning out templates, whatever. And I said, hey, if you have her information, I'd love to work with her. Still, book a session with her and just see what she has to say about my digestion. She emails me back and she says, I'm sorry that you're defective. And again, when I first read it, I'm like, who says that? Like, maybe she's having a bad day or something. Again, I'm like looking at the bright side of things and like just kind of brushing it off, like ignoring it, like whatever. But there were so many warning signs, and I just chose to ignore them. That's just one of many. And I could probably go on and make this YouTube video like an hour long, going into all the things that that were red flags and warning signs to me. Needless to say, I paid for the class, but I'm not going to the class anymore. It's not worth my energy, risking my energy, or being manipulated. Even the class itself was weird. Like, she had us doing this exercise where we're supposed to project our third eye at this like mannequin head. And I've taken other classes before. Again, I didn't use my discernment. I'm just like, oh, okay, she wants us to shoot our third eye at this mannequin head. Now looking back, I mean, I'm just like giving her my energy. And take it from me. I don't want it. I got too much of it. Take it from me. Just, I'm going to be compassionate with myself and not beat myself up too much. It's a learning experience is what it was. And the first session I did with her, I felt like she had healed me. She did. I felt amazing after the session. But looking in hindsight, because she hypnotized me, I mean, I don't know if any of you watching this, these are usually timeless videos, and they have, if you came across it, you probably needed to hear it. But if you haven't worked with a hypnotherapist before, it's not like in the TV. It's like, look at this thing, moving back and forth, and then they can get you to do whatever you want. When you're hypnotized, you're like fully awake. You're just kind of in the subconscious realm. Like, you can open your eyes at any time you want. And, if somebody's like touching you inappropriately, or somebody says something inappropriate, I think you'd come to right away. Like, what the hell? But, so getting back to, I think I healed myself. I think I was talking maybe to my higher self. I was communicating with the subconscious, and other people have said this, but I forget who actually said it, but you can have a false guru and still, become enlightened or make spiritual progress. You believe so much in what they're saying, and that you can become enlightened even though the master isn't enlightened, and in fact they're a trickster, or they're trying to siphon your energy, or they just don't know what they're doing, whatever it is. And I didn't become enlightened or anything, but I healed myself. That's what I think happened. But I gave her so much credibility because of that. And 9 months ago, when I had kind of signed up with her, but I'd already done this soul convergence program I've talked about with Ann Tucker. And that was great. It was phenomenal. It expanded my energies. It fixed so many triggers and other things that were, and that was a hell of a roller coaster ride in and of itself, with just all the emotions that I felt and everything. But she had done this gift activations program at the same time that this other person was doing a program. And I had done a couple sessions in this program, like, this kind of weird, like, I really want to do this gift activations program. Like, I don't want to be here right now doing this, because I feel like it's not doing anything for me. And So I ended up leaving the program at that point, but I didn't have any hard feelings. It's just, if I had to choose one or the other, it was the other one. It wasn't this one. So 9 months later, we come back and I'm like, maybe it's time I do the program. I get to, join a community, be around like-minded people, and, I get to be a part of something. I thought I had found my tribe. And because right now I'm just kind of on my own. Aside from the few maybe courses I've taken with other people and connected with other people, I think this YouTube channel is about me, sharing things I've learned, but also about teaching. And so, it'll take a while to build this huge YouTube channel up. But once, I think once things start taking off, people are going to start waking up to spirituality in general. And then it's my time to teach. But these videos should always be here to come back to if anybody wants to come back and watch them, maybe see how I started out or something. But yeah, so anyways, using discernment when you're, just because somebody says they're from the love and the light, or, they're all about love, and maybe they're a very cheerful person, doesn't mean you trust them. There was many conversations I had in my head about this woman that she just wasn't doing things right. But at the same time, I was on the fence. I'm like, should I tell her what to do, or my thoughts on it? Is it my place? Like, maybe she's got to learn on her own. And so I just decided against speaking my mind to her. This is before I even took the class. But again, I was brushing it off because I feel like she's like self-taught somewhat. She didn't take a class or a course that I'm aware of to be doing what she's doing. And so she does things weird. That's another kind of a warning sign, is if you're doing things too differently to everyone else, like, who are you learning from? What are you learning? What are you trying to teach me? I should have asked a whole lot more questions than I did. Anyways, learning experience. But, if you come across this video, maybe you've got somebody in your life that you need to use discernment with. And it doesn't always mean it's a teacher. It could even be friends, family, you name it. Like, maybe somebody's trying to manipulate you and you've got to use your discernment, whether or not to maybe cut them out of your life or set some boundaries. Anyways, we got the power back on in our house today. So I had some batteries, so we weren't like fully out of power. Some battery packs. I was able to have internet because I work from home. I was able to have internet and my computer, my work computer working. So I probably could have done a video, but just I wasn't feeling the best either. I feel like we had a timeline shift. I keep watching videos about timeline shifts because I was, for the last couple of days, I went through some fairly dark stuff. And then I did a meditation with the angelic frequency series again from Aaron Tucker. And I mean, I feel like it just healed me. Like, I wanted to cry in the meditation because I felt, from where I started to the end of the meditation, I just felt amazing. I couldn't even express in words the gratitude that I felt for that. Because I don't know how to fix myself yet. And they helped me out of a tough spot. Because I haven't been eating the best in the last couple of days either, with the power out, and haven't been doing my yoga. I didn't even do the meditations for like a few days. Just so many things going on, and the power, and we've got extension cords running from here to there. Even when the house was half out of power, I had to run a bunch of extension cords just to get internet and different things. And we got a freezer in the garage, and I think the power was out for like 7 days on that, and I didn't realize it. and I think the food is still good in there, but there's like one freezer where I had a bunch of berries and frozen fruits, and like there's like a bunch of berry juice at the bottom, and looks like a bloodbath or something. But yeah, it's been a rough couple of days. So, but when stuff like that happens, I feel like a timeline shift was in order, and that's what I'm hearing other people saying. So I'm just going to go with that. Yeah. Be careful who you have. I'm not saying you got to give everybody the 9th degree who's teaching you, but just be aware of what and how they're teaching you. Like I said, she did some weird stuff with the mannequins, and then initially in the course, she was like teaching some Reiki stuff, but I didn't sign up for a Reiki course. Not that I'm opposed to it. I was open to it. I'm like, yeah, sure. But, now that I'm looking back, I'm like, did she just steal that information online somewhere she found, or did she take a Reiki course and was like, I'm just going to start teaching that course, but I won't call it Reiki. We'll just throw a bunch of things together. Between that and the head, it's just kind of like, what the hell, man? Like, so use your discernment. I've taken a few other classes that have been incredible, that were nothing like this, and they were teaching, at a certain point, you're teaching similar to other people, but you built your own course, you built your own materials. You didn't like steal it from a Reiki course. I don't even know if she did that. Maybe she channeled it. I don't know, but regardless, she's a fraud. So, just be careful. I never thought I'd be in that position, in a million years. And like I said, at least for me, I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt when they show me a certain level of, like, I thought that they had healed me, but again, I probably healed myself. And I gave them the benefit of the doubt for that, almost as like a free pass for everything else. And, should have used my discernment before. So I know it's a learning lesson to use my discernment. And as we maybe move towards the future where maybe a lot more people are becoming spiritual or waking up, if they haven't done the work, they're probably likely to get these entities attached to them as well. And then, and on top of that, there's already just, I've heard of people talking about this before, that there's just other kind of frauds out there that, pretend to be of the light, and they put on a good front. They're copying other people, whatever. Maybe they use it to make money. Maybe there's an entity, whatever, involved. Use your discernment on it. So I think I've talked enough about that. I've got so many other things that I think I'd like to talk about, but I'll leave those for another video. I just hadn't posted in a while, so here we are. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Like I said, if you like what I had to say, or if what I had to say helped you, please leave a comment. I'd love to know. And if you have something in particular you want to talk about, let me know. Yeah, I like the video. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you like the content. Thank you. Guys, have a great night.